Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing really well. So today what I want to do is dive into automation. So that is bolting together different aspects of AI. I'm using it with Microsoft Word or Google Docs, etc., to be able to make a task easier and repeatable. And so we're going to use today a piece of software called make.com, and I'll show you how that works. But I'm also going to use Perplexity, which is an AI-driven search engine, ChatGPT, Google Sheets, and then we're going to link it all up to things like LinkedIn and Twitter, etc., so that we can automate the activity of creating posts from documents. Let's jump in. Okay, so to let us start working, let's first of all jump into make.com. So you go to the website and you can sign in with Google, and this brings you to this site. Now I've already signed in, so I've got an organization. I've already been doing some work. This was me practicing yesterday. So you get yourself into make.com, and there are a number of things you can do here. You can set it up as a team, so you can have teams of different people. There's a place for your users, tells you what your subscriptions is. Just to show you, I'm on the free plan, but you can pay. And I think, to be honest, as I use this more and more, I could well get to a stage where I would buy a paid plan for this. It will give you more operations to do each month. I'm limited at the moment to 1,000, but you get 10,000 per month if you pay for it, and you get different obviously different benefits, your payments, the installed apps. These are apps that you can link to make, variables you've set up, and then some things around scenario properties. But let's go back to the main screen. So the key place to start is in an area called scenarios, and here are two scenarios that I have set up previously when I was practicing for this video. And what we will do is we're going to jump in and create a new scenario. And you get this sort of lovely blank page, and what it does is give you the chance to sort of bolt different bits of things together. You'll see that as we get into it. And the first thing you need to do is to identify a trigger. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Google Sheets as a trigger, and you have all sorts of different things that you can do in Google Sheets. Watch new rows, add a row, update a row, etc. You can watch individual cells for changing. You can ask it to perform a function for you. So just think about this as taking the particular piece of software, and it could be Excel, it could be all sorts of different bits of software, and getting it to do something for you that will then give you an action. So we're going to watch new rows. What I'm trying to do here is create a spreadsheet, Google Sheets, and then when I add a row of text into it, I want it then to say, oh, there's a new row of text. There's a new row of text. Now I want you to do something with that text. And what I'm going to do is drop in to that row of text stories. So here we are in Google Sheets. So you have to make a connection. So what you would do if you were setting this up, you'd add a Google connection, go into sign in with Google, sign into your account, and then it will give you access to your Google Sheets. And then what you want to do is search by path, my drive. Have some choices here. You can do a Google shared drive or things that are shared with me. And then you go in and you find the spreadsheet. So it will give you a set of file folders, and what I'm going to do is go into blog info. There we go. And it's a sheet. So it likes that. And then there's only one sheet in it. So if there was multiple sheets in your Google Sheets or sheets in your Excel, then you could say which sheet do you want to find the information on, but it's sheet 1. Table contains headers. We've got the rows with headers, so A1 to Z1, then limit 2. I'm going to reduce that to limit 1. So I only want it to take one line each time it goes in. Press OK. Choose where to start. Choose all. Okay, right. Let's just have a quick look at that. So here is the Google Sheet. It's called blog info. And what I've done, I've pre-populated it with a series of stories around artificial intelligence that I would like to either tweet about or put a LinkedIn post about or create a blog about. So that's I've already pre-populated that just by searching the web and taking the links and putting them in each row. So I've got quite a few there to go at. I've basically done that so that I can try out the automations and not have to keep going back and putting in a new row, because it will only take the next row. It won't repeat individual rows. That's how it's been set up. Okay, so it's very basic. Let's run this to see what happens. It looks at the sheet, finds a row, and produces an output. Let's just have a look at what's in there. So you get, so this is the link that it has given me on the spreadsheet. So link A is the link, which is what I need. So I want it to draw out that link for me, and simple as that. Basically, the rest is superfluous data. This is the important piece here. It has found me the link. And if I ran it again, it would find the second link, and then I ran it again, it would find the third link. So now we put a link in, and now we have got something that we can work with. Okay, so we've got our first automation. The second thing is we want to add something to this. So we want it to take that link that we found and we want to do something with it. So the piece of software I'm going to use for this is a piece of software called Perplexity. There it is, Perplexity AI. And what I want to do is to create a chat completion. So it will take the information in, I will add a prompt to it, and then it will produce an output. And you get the requirements to log in. So I've made a connection to Perplexity, and let me show you how you find the data that you need. Okay, so here we are in Perplexity, and I have an account on Perplexity, and basically this is an AI-driven search engine. I use it a lot. It's really good at getting information, a bit like ChatGPT search, but I think a little bit more intuitive. Anyway, if you want, put a comment in the description below if you want me to do a video about using Perplexity. Very happy to do that. But what we particularly want here is access to the API key so that we can link it to make.com. So you just go to the settings area as me, and you will see under API. Now you need to log up some credits. So I logged up $5 of credit with it, and have done quite a lot of testing. I've used 6 cents of credit. So it's not massively expensive. There you go, 6 cents. And you get this API key, and that's the key you need to be able to log into Make, to link it to your Perplexity account. Okay, back into Make, and I've just suggested how you can make that Perplexity connection. I obviously have it. If I hadn't, you just add, put in your key the API key that I showed you, and then it will tie both things up. And you can choose different models. I'm using the Llama 3.1 Sona Large. So I think there are lots of different other models there. That's the model that Perplexity is going to use, which is fine. Then you get to this add messages, and this is the key thing. Now remember that what I did was that I ran the automation once, and that's often quite helpful, because what it does, it populates the output of that particular block, so that when you go into content, you can find that the area that you want. So if I hadn't done it, this stuff might not have been there, and it would have just been perhaps the sheet, or it might have just been completely empty. So it's useful to run it once, and then you have the correct content that you can draw on. So this is the content I want. I want to be able to draw into this. So here, before I do that, what I'm going to do is write a prompt. So what I'm going to do is say, summarize the following. And then what I do is just press this, and it will say, so effectively, it's like me going into Perplexity and saying, summarize the following, and then copying and pasting the link. But obviously I haven't had to do that. All I've had to do is put it in that Google sheet. Much more straightforward. We don't need that anymore. And its role, So this is who you are when you're working with Perplexity. So I want to be a user. You can add a second item. I don't really bother with the maximum tokens or the temperature. You can just leave those blank. Press OK, and let's run this again. So it has found the new sheet, and it's found number 2 because it's already run it once. And Perplexity has worked, and it's given us an output. Let's have a look at what that output is. Make this bigger. So it gives you the input and then the output. And if you go into choices, collection, message, then content, it will give you what Perplexity produced. So an article from Artificial Intelligence News discussing AI 2's OLM 02. And then it's summarized that document for me. See? So I've taken the link, put it into Perplexity, and I've got a summary of that document. And the reason I use Perplexity is because Perplexity is attached to the web. So you don't have those problems of can't access it, or sometimes ChatGPT won't be able to access the web in a necessary way to be able to look at the document. So Perplexity just allows you to make sure that you get that information out. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to add in a router. So I've got a summary of the web page that I put into the Google Sheets, and I've got a summary that Perplexity has used. So what I want to do is then send that to be worked on by 3 different AIs to produce a number of different outcomes. So the next thing is I need a router. So add another module, and you could just put in router down here. It will give you a router. You can actually just click on it here, or indeed if you go to flow control, that will open up repeaters, routers, etc. Commit, ignore, various different things. So we want a router. You have to play with this stuff sometimes. So we've created a router, and we've got 2 outputs of the router, the first one and the second one. If we click on it again, we get a third one. Just reduce that down so we can see our model. I love the graphical interface of this. It's very intuitive. Okay, so in this node, I want to add in an AI that will be able to take that summary and then do something with it. So what we're going to use is ChatGPT, and you can search in here, ChatGPT, a series of them here, but you could use Claude. Lots of people would use Claude for this because it's very good at writing. I don't have a paid account for Claude, so don't have access to the API key, but that's what you would use if you had Claude and you wanted to use Claude. And I guess you can use a Llama API as well if you wanted to use Llama. Does it have Gemini? Yeah, Google Gemini. So you could use Google Gemini as well. So lots of different large language models that you can use, but won't surprise you, I'm going to use ChatGPT. So we go to ChatGPT, and then you have a whole series of choices: message an assistant, transform text into structured data, analyze images. If you're using images, generate an image. So it will move it straight into DALL-E rather than into the normal ChatGPT. Edit an image. All sorts of things you can do, create a moderation. But what we want to do here is create a completion, i.e. a prompt. We do that. And like with everything else, you have to sign up, and I've already done that. And how do you find your API key with ChatGPT? Let's do that now. Okay, so what you need to do is to go to this website here, platform.openai.com, and log in to that. You will start on it's called the playground. You will start here, and then if you go to dashboard, it will show you what you've been doing. It's taking some time to upload them. We don't need to worry about that. What you want to do is go down on the left hand side here. You can just see behind my head, just here, to API keys, and it will show you the API keys that you've got, and these are ones that I've used. There's the one for SEO writing. Have a look at this video here if you want to see why I use that. Make, and this is the one that I did yesterday got this API key. You just create a new secret key, put a name in it, create a project owned by you, create a secret key, and it will give you a key that you can then use to link to your Make account. It's relatively straightforward, actually, once you get going, once you've logged in. Now, what you have to do is you have to put some money on your account, and you can see that I have spent so far 15 cents in, I think I put $5 on it. So I've so far spent 15 cents, and I tested it quite a few times. So yeah, it's not a massive cost, and it's a relatively cheap way of using ChatGPT. Okay, we're back into Make, and my OpenAI connection is there. And remember, we produced an output from Perplexity. So we are going to select a method. We want to create a chat completion, GPT and O1 models. That's fine. What model do we want to use? We can use O1, O1 Mini, ChatGPT 4.0. I'm going to use ChatGPT 4.0. That's the best one. There we go. And then it gives you a chance to add a message. So just like before, we create a prompt, and because we've run this once, we now have an output from Perplexity that we can work with. So again, you clicked it without doing it. So then you have to select a role, and again we want user, and then we have the text and content that we want to work with. Okay, so I've created my prompt. So you are a social media expert, give it a persona, create an engaging tweet based on the following: ensure it is SEO optimized, use UK English, it should be informative and entertaining. And then what we do is we need to find that output from Perplexity to put in. So if you remember, it is in choices, message, content. So that's where that's where the output came. So that gives it what we need. Don't have an image input type, so we're not doing images. I just leave this blank and press OK. So now what we should have is we take a line from the Google Sheet, the next line, then it goes to Perplexity and it does a summary of that document, and then it will send it up here and to ChatGPT that will take that summary and will hopefully create a tweet. Let's try. Let's run it once. So it's finding the line, sends it to Perplexity. Perplexity does its work. The router then sends it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT does its work. Fantastic. Let's have a look what we've got. So if you just click this bubble here, you get the output, you get the input. Where did it get the input from? Then the output, and you get bundle one, which is the result. So it's put some emojis in there. AI in academia, friend or foe. New Indian Express explores the rise in AI. Strike the right balance. Read now for a global perspective. And then gives us somewhere we can put the link. And it's given me some hashtags. Created a tweet. Okay, so I've set up the tweet. Now I want to make a LinkedIn post. So I could just go in and go through the same process that I've just shown you. But actually what I'm going to do is just clone this one. Clone this, pop it there, move that out of the way, delete that module. So now I've got a clone. It should be exactly the same as what I had, put all the information in. But this time I'm going to change this prompt to be suitable for LinkedIn. Okay, so I've changed the prompt. So you're still a social media expert, still good to give it a persona. Create an engaging LinkedIn post based on the following. Ensure it's SEO optimized, always want to do that. Use UK English, it should be informative and entertaining. Do not use emojis, and it should be no more than 500 words. Okay, so let's run again. So it's getting the next line. That's why I put all those lines in so I didn't have to keep going back. Perplexity is doing its stuff, sending it up to ChatGPT to make the tweet. And now it is making the LinkedIn post. Let's see what we've got. Let's just check we've got a tweet. There we go. Planet's heating up. We all need to pay attention. Global warming. So this is a BBC News site story about AI and climate change. Let's see what we got on the LinkedIn post. So we've got a result, chat completion. Usually you'll find it in choices and content. There we go. we've got a LinkedIn post. Quite a lot. Maybe 500 words is too many. Oh, it's all working so well at the moment. It can be. I think it's fair to say, I'm making it look quite easy. It can be a little bit fiddly, but follow the steps and hopefully you'll be able to do this as well. I did do a lot of fiddling yesterday to get this right. So once you get it set up, once you get all the integrations set up, it's actually a lot easier. The integrations can take a little bit of time. Okay, so next thing. So we've done a tweet, we've done a LinkedIn post. Final thing, going to write a blog. So I'm going to clone this one again, put it there, get rid of that. And we get the same again. So this will have cloned the LinkedIn version. And I'm going to create a suitable prompt for a blog. Okay, so I haven't changed it very much. You're a social media blogging expert. Create an engaging blog post based on the following. Ensure it's SEO optimized. Use UK English. It should be informative and entertaining. Do not use emojis. And it should be no more than 1,500 words. So we're asking it for quite a bit more this time. Let's see what we get. I should just say it is worth, it will also save, always save, because I have had a situation where I've created something, gone off, come back, and for some reason the internet's gone down, or I've logged in to make on another platform and it might have lost what I've done. So always save. Good advice all the time. Let's run it. Let's see what we get. It takes the next one from the sheet. It goes to Perplexity. It does a summary of it. Perplexity does its work, sends it off to the router. Router sends it up to create a tweet. It's done the tweet. Then it sends it off to make the LinkedIn post. It's done the LinkedIn post. I don't know what the next one is on the I don't know what the next one is on the list. So we will see what we get this time. And then it is now creating a blog for me. It's done. It's worked. No errors. So if you get a red dot here, then it's an error, and you have to go in and work out what the problem might be. So we've got a tweet. Let's have a look. Output choices, one message, content. Here we go. So this one is from MIT. So let's put a link into the MIT. Fantastic. See what the LinkedIn post looks like. So choices, one message, content. Unlocking genetic mysteries. So using AI to unlock genetic mysteries. And it's given me a LinkedIn post, a bit bigger than I would hope for. But let's see whether it's given me a blog. Same again. Output choices for one. This was the first and only question I asked it. Content. How cool is that? So just from adding one line of text into the Google Sheets, I've now produced 3 outputs. Okay, so as it gets more complex, you might want to press this auto align. It just puts it all in, and you can sort of move it around so you can see your automation. I do like this. It's very cool. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to create a visual that I can use with my LinkedIn post and my blog. So I'm going to add another route in here, and I'm going to go to ChatGPT again, but this time I'm going to use generate an image. It's quite different. So the model, I want to use DALL-E 3, and the prompt. So what I've said is, in DALL-E 3, generate a suitable 6:9 image that would be suitable to represent the following. And then I need to go to Perplexity, and remember, get this from choices, message, and I take it from content. There we go. Choices, message, content. Very straightforward. So I should end up with a picture that suits this. So let's run it one more time. See what happens. It's getting the next line from the sheet. Perplexity is doing its stuff, sending it up to create a tweet, sending it off to create a LinkedIn post, sending it off to create a blog. Now let's see whether we get a picture from DALL-E. Blog takes a little bit of time. There we go. The operation failed. Let's try and sort out what the problem is with the operation. You get an error. ChatGPT, you want to handle this error automatically, choose one of the following options. You can ignore the error. more information about handling error, right? So its bundle error is, it's a bundle error. It was empty. So maybe I put the wrong piece of data in. Let's go and have a look, see if I can sort that out. Have a look. Did I not press? I think I might not have pressed OK. So create a suitable 6x9 image, 6x9 image that will work with the following information. Try again. This is why it's always good. Don't want choices. Open choices, message, content. Press OK. See if it works this time. That's why it's good to test it each time, just to make sure it's doing its thing. We're getting there. So we're good with our tweet. We're good with our LinkedIn post. We're good with our blog. I'm going to produce a picture. How exciting. Hopefully it works. It's doing something this time. It didn't just error out. That's probably because I saved it this time. So you can make silly mistakes. Let's see if we get a picture. Got something. So what was it this time? Can AI navigate the world like humans? Not quite. It's an MIT study. We got ourselves a LinkedIn post. Did we get a blog? It was a blog. And here we go. The exciting bit. Did we get an image output? Let's have a look. Okay, so you do have to fiddle sometimes with this. So the reason it didn't produce me a text was because I wasn't actually copying the whole URL. So I've just been a bit of an idiot. But what I have done is change the prompt a little bit. So create a suitable minimalist image that will work with the following information. Ensure no text, same information. And then I did the advanced settings here and I selected the size here. Okay, so let's run this once again. What I'm going to do actually is just turn these off. Disable root, disable root, disable root, just to speed up my, because I know this works. I'm going to turn this one actually back on so I can see what the idea should have been. Leave this one going. Let's run this once. So it's getting the next line from the spreadsheet, gets the next line from the spreadsheet, puts it into Perplexity. Perplexity does its thing, creating a summary, sends it up to ChatGPT to create a tweet, and then sends it down to ChatGPT to create a DALL-E image. And it was a DALL-E image that we were having trouble with. So let's see if my little bit of fiddling will make it work. So I've got an answer. See what we get. This time I'm going to blow this up so I can see it. Slightly frustrating. Blow it up so I can see it. Data 1, and then here's the URL. I've got the whole URL. Go and have a look. There we go. Hasn't got rid of, has put text in it, which is always a bit frustrating with DALL-E. So what I will need to do is play around with the prompts to make sure that I have the right data. But there you go. It's produced a picture. Could also, of course, have sucked a picture from the web page and used that. But anyway, it shows that we can actually produce a picture, which is the object. Now, before we go on, I just want to show you something slightly different. So what you can do if you go back to the ChatGPT, the OpenAI developer platform, what you can do is create your own assistant. So I could create a blog assistant here and then put in a whole series of instructions about how I want it to write my blog and be much more detailed than just in that little box during make, and effectively decide which model I can file search in there, and then give it a response. So either as a JSON file or as a text file. I can play around with the API version, etc. So effectively what that is doing is creating a custom GPT. So have a look at this video up here if you want to find out how to create custom GPTs. But this creates it, and you can use it when you are working in Make. And then back in Make, if you remember, if we add another thing in here and we go to the OpenAI ones, and we've always been creating a completion, so you going straight into ChatGPT and creating a completion, you can actually then message an assistant, and if you created that assistant, you'll be able to, there'll be a drop down box you can use that assistant to specifically do that piece of activity for you. And that's a more complex but effective way of getting what you need out of ChatGPT. Okay, so we have tweets, we have a LinkedIn post, and we have a blog, and we have a picture. So we can use those with all of those three. So what I'm going to do now, and I'm not going to do this fully because I don't want to start testing and uploading things, but I'm going to show you how you can now post these to those various places. And of course, you have a choice here. You can either download this content that you've got to a file so that you can check it and then use it to post it, or you can post it directly. So for this demonstration, I'm going to post it directly. I'm going to show you how to post it directly, but I wouldn't suggest you do that. I think much better check, make sure you're happy with it, put it into a file, have a look at it, make sure you're happy with it. And then, of course, you can create another make approach that says, when I say yes in this document to post it, when I change the file, say yes, then I can post it. So you can do it in two steps if you wish. I'm going to show you now how you can link the actual programs that you want to post onto. Okay, let's start with Twitter. So just add, and then you can put in Twitter or X, formerly known as Twitter. And what you want to do is to create a post. There we go. And then you create a connection in the same way as we've shown. And then you can make it work. I'll go through that in a second. Turn that off. In this one, we know this is LinkedIn. Create a user text post. You have to, again, create a connection. Just going to leave that. This one, we obviously don't want to post directly. So I wish I could post directly to Wix, but can't. It only has a way of searching Wix for orders, etc. So you can check whether somebody's put an order into your cart if they bought something from your Wix site. But what you can't do, unless I'm absolutely wrong, you add products, you can search products. It's all about the shopping cart. What you can't do is upload to Wix, which is a bit of a pity. I wish I could do that. If you have a WordPress site, then you can absolutely do more with WordPress. You can update a post, you can create a post, etc. You can't do that with Wix. I'm sure with other websites you can post direct, but unfortunately not at Wix at this time. Okay, so I've had a little play around, and what I want to show you is how I've slightly restructured what we've done. So I've still got the Google Sheets where I put my link in, still got Perplexity, creating a summary of the document, then goes to the router, bangs it up to create a tweet, bangs it on to create a LinkedIn post, and bangs it down to create, and this is where I've changed it. The first thing it does is create a visual, and perhaps if I wanted to use those visuals within LinkedIn and Twitter, I might actually put this in as one step and then put it in here and then start branching out so everyone had access to the same image. But for this purpose, I've left it in this direction. Then it goes into ChatGPT and creates the blog. And I've done a few little tweaks here and asked it to, so I've still said you're a social media blogging expert, creating an engaging blog post based on the following, put that information in, use UK English, not more than 1,000 words. And then I've put some formatting in. So I said formatting, use H1, H2 and H3 headers, use HTML. That's helpful if you're going to upload it as a blog. You choose what to bold and bullet point. Make sure if you want to bold anything to put BB tags and LI tags for bullet points. Then I put the link to the actual information that comes from Perplexity, and it's flashing. Nice. Okay, so that's created. So I've got a URL image. I've got a HTML version of the blog, and then this document here creates a file. So it's creating a link. So it's creating a file, and the name is the link that I put into the original spreadsheet. It takes the content out of the GPT that was creating the HTML content, and it saves it in my drive in a place called blogs. And then this document here opens that document, so the document ID from that previous document, and then it inserts an image and it appends it to the end of the document. Just put in the header ID, and this is the data and the URL from this GPT that used DALL-E to create the image. That what I've done is I've turned off X and I've turned off LinkedIn because I don't want those posts to go out just yet. Let's see what happens when I run it. Straight to here, it's created the tweet. It goes to here, it's now creating the image. Now it goes and creates the actual blog. Takes a few seconds. It's now creating the document, and it's dragging the information from the blog into the document, and it's now dragging the picture and putting it in the document. So now I should have a document, and the document ID is this news MIT Edu 24. So we will go into Drive. There we go. I had to refresh. Forget when using Google Drive, you have to refresh to update it. So this is, so from that one link, this is the blog that it's produced. So it's used H1 and H2. It has decided to bold some of the text, which are keywords, as it produced a picture. And it has produced a picture. Cool. One click, blog produced. Now I could just upload that. Obviously I won't, but I could just upload that to my blog. But there you go. There you go. A full make automation. So there we have it. We've been through a full automation process using Make that has used multiple bits of ChatGPT and Perplexity. And then we've created the ability to post directly to Twitter and LinkedIn and to create a blog. Now, there is no doubt I can go back through, and I will go back through and really refine this approach. So what I'll probably do, almost definitely, is I will go in and within ChatGPT, I will create an assistant, and then I can put a really detailed prompt in that gives me all of the structure I want, uses the right language, sets out the document in the right way. And I'll do that for both LinkedIn and the tweet and the blog. So I'm getting more effective outputs. But this video is really just about showing you how powerful Make is and how you can start thinking about automating tasks. Now, I've automated a creative task, so taking some information in and creating some documents and then posting those documents. But you could think about all sorts of different things. If you were taking customer data and doing some processing with it and then sending out emails, all very possible with Make. And perhaps I can, if you've got some ideas of automations that you'd like me to go through, let me know in the comments below and I will do it for you. You can, we've seen multiple times how the benefits of customized GPTs are, well, using those GPTs within the Make platform and being able to run a sequence of integrations and automations would allow you to do really clever things and just take a lot of effort out of the work that you do. Think about those jobs where you're having to take lots of data and split it up and move it into different places. You're having to create lists of things. You're having to split data. For instance, you could do that all in Make. Think about all the tasks you can use ChatGPT for, or Claude, doing searches, finding keywords, SEO, loads of stuff. So I think this is a really powerful tool. I haven't been using it for very long, but I wanted to show you the basics of how to do this. And over the next few months, I will develop my automations. I'll show you how to do them, and I will put all the details in a video for you. So there's loads of stuff in the description below. Please go and have a look. Feel free to use any of the documentations in there. I'll drop in prompts, all that sort of thing to try and help you. But have a go. Make's free. You do have to have some paid bits of accounts if you want to use APIs, etc., for both Perplexity and for ChatGPT. But I think it's worth it. It's worth trying these tools out to see how you might be able to make your life a bit better. All right, if you've enjoyed this video, please like it, please share it, please ring the bell, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.